So today we're going to be looking at ticker symbol WKHS for Workhorse. A very interesting, another short squeeze stock, also a meme stock with a high short squeeze percentage, around 40%. It's one of the highest shorted stocks on the market, according to the data online. So I've gone ahead and put up already some resistance lines and some trending lines, which are useful for me in understanding what sort of price action movements we can expect for today's trading day and how we can sort of trade this stock if I am to open up a position in this in WKHS. Now, I would just like to remind all of you that this is just my homework. This is not information that you should be trading for on. This is basically me just doing my due diligence before I do a trade, and I like to share those videos with the YouTube community because it just it's just because so many people are contributing such good information, and I don't think this information should be hidden. I think it should be available to everyone. So I always like to upload my homework onto YouTube for other people, just for them to even gain the knowledge or possibly even understand how they can maybe use this information in their own charting. So again, do not trade off of my information. This is just my homework, which I like to do for my own due diligence. Now we've seen Workhorse uh, fall to its low of $12.89. Since then, it has recovered upwards, bouncing off of this $15 resistance around one to around three times. And since then, this yellow trend line has been very vital because it has slightly broken out of it, which on June 9th, which was yesterday. But since then, it is still trailing and trailing upwards in a nice price action movement. Now we haven't seen that violent price action movement that we expected. So this still could be a lot of buying pressure from retail investors just buying into this stock. There is around a 40% short squeeze on this stock. So when we do see the short squeeze, we will see some violent price action movement upwards, and I guess that would be the trade for me. By looking at the RSI, we can see it's sort of touching off of this oversold territory, which is also very important. It's showing that the relative strength index, the relative strength of this stock is declining, which is very, very normal in stocks. You want to use this indicator. It's a very important indicator just to let you know when investors are coming in and when there are not many investors interested in the stock. So right now it's in the slightly touching the oversold territory, which seems to me like a good opportunity to possibly open up a position within the stock. Now, when we're trading, obviously these short squeezes, these meme stocks, it's very important to understand that the fundamentals that we use for other stocks, like, for example, like Microsoft or Apple, those resistance zones, those markings that we use, which you might be familiar with or you might not be. So those fundamentals we have to slightly put aside because we will never see violent price actions in MSFT or Apple unless there is a high short interest within those stocks. Then the fundamentals sort of change. As soon as the shorts get squeezed, they will close their position, causing this to violently move upwards. So again, Workhorse seems to have a very high short short percentage. Now, it also depends on how retail investors respond to that short interest. Are retail investors going to continue to short the stock, which will make the price of Workhorse fall, or will they fight the battle and decide, you know what, they like this stock, similar to GME or AMC, and say that no, we like this company, we like what they're doing, we do not want to see them go out of business, and we're going to fight the shorts and push the price upwards. If the price starts to get pushed upwards, then the shorts will get squeezed because then they will start to lose money and eventually they will have to close their positions or at least part of their positions to cause a violent upward price action movement. So that's what we will be looking for. So it's very important for also the so-called ape community to get behind this, to affirm that you know what, they like this stock, they are happy with the work that Workhorse is doing, or possibly even if they do not like the company, they just want to see that price action movement upwards for a possible good trade, take profits, and see where the stock goes from there. So it's very important to do your due diligence to understand what you're really getting into when you're playing these stocks. It is very, very risky. That is affirmed. You have to have a strong stomach. You have to be psychologically prepared to take losses if that's the case, and you have to be able to be psychologically prepared to also take your gains at a certain price. So always have a plan in mind. If you do not have a plan in mind, then things can go south very, very quickly. So either you're playing this as a short, or you're playing this as a bull. That depends on you. Now, the information that I keep seeing is that majority of retail investors have been fighting shorts, have been fighting these hedge funds who have these large positions, these large short positions within these stocks. So it's important to do your due diligence to understand what you're getting into. But as far as I'm seeing, is that retail investors are targeting these short interest stocks to play the trade upwards. Now, very, very smart people have been able to play the game upwards and the game downwards. Now, I'm still not comfortable playing the downward game. I am increasing my knowledge, and until I don't become confident, I will not open up a short position within these stocks. I would like to see these stocks go upwards. At least that is my game plan. So it's always good to have a game plan. Um, Now, for this stock, we will just quickly talk about the RSI, which is touching the oversold territory, which means that it's a good indication to maybe possibly open up a position within this stock for myself. So I'll be looking at the first 15 minutes of trading, see how this is moving, and then decide if I really want to get into this stock or not. Now, if the retail investors do decide to back this stock, then we will see some violent price action movement, and those will be the trades, and that's how this will be traded for myself. So let's see how the trading day of today happens, or at least this trading day of this week. We will be watching this trend line very, very carefully. If we do see a break, then we can possibly see a break down to the $15, and if we see a break of that, then obviously the 12.89. If retail investors get behind this and we see that there's a nice movement coming along, then we could see a nice price action movement upwards. Now, if we zoom out, let's zoom out a little bit just to get a nice understanding. Now, Workhorse saw a high of 42.95. Now, this was when there was news that the postal service wanted to switch and invest in new electric vehicles for their postal service, for their last mile delivery. And unfortunately, Workhorse didn't get that contract, but people still uh, profited a lot from this stock. Since then, it has slowly trailed downwards, and now we're seeing this nice price action of around $16.35. Uh, now, if we look at what am I looking at? This is the 6 month chart. In the 6 month chart, the RSI is still in the slightly in the just possibly touching the oversold territory. So we'll see how this stock reacts today in the first 15 minutes of trading. Possibly looking at the news, the social media, to affirm our thesis that you know what, we can play this stock and be psychologically prepared for whatever outcome happens for WKHS. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Leave a comment for any ticker symbols you would like me to look over, and I'll try to get those videos out as soon as possible. Again, make sure to like, subscribe. It just helps with the channel and with all this information. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.